What's up, YouTube? Hey, check this out. Thousands of illegal migrants self-deport before massive ICE raid. Okay, that's pretty good. I thought this would be interesting, man. The Edward report. He's been coming across my feed since I've been doing all this migrants and deporting type videos, right? And shout out to him and everything. So let me see what he got to say. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check it out,
Welcome back to the Edwards Report. My name's Kalen. Today we're talking about self-deportation. Some call it the right-wing dream. Some call it a nightmare. Regardless of what you want to call it, you might as well call it reality, because thousands of undocumented migrants are racing to get out of the country on their own terms. It's called self-deportation, and it's exactly what the Trump administration is trying to encourage all of these migrants to do. I think it's working. The numbers are saying that it is surging in 2025. Conservatives are saying that this is common sense finally kicking in. Liberals are saying that this is fear-based coercion masquerading as policy. So who's right? What's really going on? And what is
I don't care if it's fear-based or not. You here illegally, get out. I don't understand why. What does the fear got to do with it? You wasn't feared when you got in here. I don't understand the situation. Maybe the situation got to be different.
What does it mean for our country?
Listen to this.
Liberals are saying that this is fear-based coercion masquerading as policy. So who's right? What's really going on? And what does it mean for our country? Let's find out.
Now at 4, a South LA woman accused of staging a fake immigration kidnapping is now facing federal criminal charges. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 4. I'm John Fenolio. She allegedly claimed she was being held in a facility near the border, but the Department of Homeland Security says they found her at a mall in Bakersfield. KTLA Sarah Welch joins us from South LA.
What? She faked like she got apprehended by ICE?
With the story, Sarah.
She went shopping.
Hey, John, good afternoon. The Department of Homeland Security says Julie Calderon made this whole story up, that it was a hoax, that she blamed federal agents while stoking fear in the community.
What in the Carly Russell Jussie Smollett is this? You had Jussie that faked like a hate crime was committed against him. You had Carly Russell that was acting like she got abducted in a highway. And now you have this woman that is acting like ICE has come and ran up on her and took her from the fast food restaurant. You can't make this stuff up. What in the victim Olympics is going on here? This is the problem. When you incentivize victimhood, when you make people celebrities and you start striking and putting them on shirts and setting up GoFundMes and starting whole movements behind stuff that has been loosely investigated, you start to encourage people to want to be the next victim, to win the victim Olympics so that they can have people protesting for them so that they can get some money. It's crazy.
Hold up, man. My bad. I know when I get to talking, sometimes y'all miss stuff, so let's go back to this. Let's go ahead. God dang, the victim Olympics. I'm the That's what I was thinking, man.
You start striking and putting them on shirts and setting up GoFundMes and starting whole movements behind stuff that has been loosely investigated. You start to encourage people to want to be the next victim, to win the victim Olympics so that they can have people protesting for them so that they can get some money. It's crazy. I always kind of had a suspicion that a lot of this stuff was fishy, but I'm not the one to just go deeply investigate it and expose it. But I kind of just always thought like, it's a little, now?
Free Julie now! Back on June 30th, family and friends of Julie Calderon claimed she was kidnapped in this Jack in the Box parking lot off Alameda in South LA by federal agents or people working with them.
Ununiformed men in unmarked cars kidnapped Julie.
But the U.S. Attorney's Office says that was a lie. In its criminal complaint, they say these are photos of Calderon, a citizen of Mexico.
Cotton 4K. Got them people out there protesting for her.
Oh, my God. This is crazy.
On June 25th, parking her Toyota in the fast food parking lot, getting out and then walking across the street to get into another vehicle at this gas station and later driving away. Days went by and the family set up a GoFundMe to help find her, and they also filed a missing persons case with LAPD.
She was taken straight from here to the border and pressured to sign.
Just lying. How many people are a part of this? How many?
Hold up. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. I wonder, are these people on her side? They know where she at. Don't come out. We can already do another protest for you. Or do they honestly think, like this guy on the mic, do he honestly think that she is straight up missing? Are they in on it, or are they trying to help and they just jumped on board?
Missing persons case with LAPD.
She was taken straight from here to the border and pressured to sign.
Just lying. How many people are a part of this? How many people do y'all think were a part of this? Because the family set up that GoFundMe quick, with the quick. Got the lawyer quickly. Do y'all think he knew? Do y'all think he in on it?
That's the lawyer?
Allegedly. Whatever I need to say to not get sued. How many people y'all think was in on this?
Yeah.
Self-deportation paperwork.
Calderon claims she used another person's cell phone to say she was taken to a warehouse at an unknown location. But federal investigators say that was also a lie. And when we asked LAPD, all they would tell us is that they had closed the missing persons investigation. Federal investigators say Calderon was never in federal custody. And on July 4th, they located her with this woman at a parking lot in Bakersfield. Investigators.
I'm from Bakersfield. They caught this woman at the Valley Plaza. No, it's fine. I don't know where they caught her. But that's an hour and a half away from LA. So she faked her abduction, drove down the 405, hit the Grapevine, and just went to Bakersfield? Did she know that ICE is also raiding Bakersfield?
Investigators say she stuck to her story. She'd been kidnapped. And these are photos investigators say Calderon created to make it appear as if she was in custody and being mistreated. But the U.S. Attorney's Office says she orchestrated the phony kidnapping to generate public sympathy and solicit donations.
Wow.
Now, the U.S. Attorney's Office released this statement saying dangerous rhetoric that ICE agents are kidnapping illegal immigrants is being recklessly peddled by politicians and echoed in the media to inflame the public and discredit our courageous federal agents. He went on to say, in terms of this case, all those involved will face the full consequences of their conduct under federal law. Now, Calderon has lived in L.A. for more than 20 years. She's charged with conspiracy and making false statements to federal agents. So far, no one else has been charged in this case, but the U.S. Attorney's Office says this case is ongoing. We did reach out to Calderon's family and the family attorney, but we haven't heard back yet.
Coverage you can count on begins in Aiken County, where a family is feeling the pressure from the new undocumented immigrant policies.
Kim Vickers sat down with them to learn more about their story.
One of President Donald Trump's main campaign promises in 2024 was sweeping immigration policies. An Aiken County family says they've been living in fear of being split up since Trump took office in January.
He came by himself at 12 years old. By himself, no family. He came and...
Okay, so they're married.
Immediately started working for a restaurant here.
Tomas Montalvo has been undocumented and living in the U.S. for 30 years. He was smuggled into this country on a Coyote bus. One of 13 children, his parents sent him here to work and help support his family.
They must have met later after the boys were born.
He said He said that it's, when he first got here, it was easy. Now it's not. It was, he just went to work, he did what he was supposed to do, and he had no fear. Now he's got fear.
30 years is a long time, y'all.
I don't care how long you've been here. You came over illegally. I don't care how young you are. You came over illegally. What you thought was going to happen, everything was going to be peaches and cream with your illegal self? Come on, man. The time is up. You did 30 years, dog. Now go on back. Or get
During
some paperwork
Incense's
done.
bid for re-election,
Get some paperwork done, man.
And he had no fear. Now he's got fear.
Playing that sympathy card.
30 years is a long time, y'all.
During Incense's bid for re-election, President Trump promised the largest mass deportation of undocumented immigrants in the nation's history, something many Republicans pushed for. Trump asked illegal immigrants to self-deport, promising no repercussions, the ability to re-enter the U.S. legally, and $1,000 to help the process. The Montalvo family decided to go ahead and self-deport because they're afraid of being separated.
And we started talking and we're like, okay, if these certain things start to happen, we're going to think about leaving. And the things did start to happen, but we were like, it'll never happen to us. It'll never happen to us. It won't. And then he had one brother deported, and then he had another brother deported.
They sold their car and almost everything in their house to buy their plane tickets. They have to rehome all of their pets. And they're struggling to say goodbye to family members, many of whom voted for President Trump.
I will say certain family members have said, look, I want to make it known I didn't vote for this.
No, that's exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not laughing at the situation, but you voted for this person, but you want to pick and choose what you like and don't like for the person you voted for. You see how this works? And then they get mad at me because I don't vote. I don't vote because, it's this. The whole system is screwed up. There's so many people today who voted for Trump is now saying, I would never vote for him again. What? You can't take your vote back. Man, no matter what happens, man, I just sit back and figure out how to survive off the rules and regulations that whoever's in the president, they're going to make the rules. They're going to pick which rules that they want to enforce. What this man did and his family, I'm sorry, was wrong. He's here illegally. So they're going to force everybody but him because he was here for 30 years, or maybe because he never bothered anybody, or he's part of a family. The fact of the matter is right and wrong is wrong. No gray area, man. That's
family
all.
Members, many of whom voted for President Trump.
I will say certain family members have said, look, I want to make it known I didn't vote for this.
No, that's exactly what they voted for. Anybody who voted for Trump can't escape this. And I don't even know, it's not like it's an unpopular thing. He ran on the platform of mass deportations, and that's what they're delivering upon. And I mean, she knew that she married somebody who was an illegal immigrant. That word illegal denotes that you did not come here legally, which means this was always a risk. And for the past 30 years, we're not talking about 3 months, guys. 30 years? And look at this. I respect it because he's still getting to leave on his own terms. Still getting to leave on his own terms. He came in on his own terms, and he's leaving on them as well.
And then others, I feel like, don't see the reality. They think that we're making this up, or that our feelings aren't valid, or
No. Hey, when I mute the mic, that means I'm talking too much. But I gotta say something on this. No. What the problem is, you don't see the reality.
Don't see the reality.
Yeah, you're right. We don't see the reality because the problem is you all don't see the reality. The realness is your man came into the United States illegally. Period.
They think that we're making this up, or that our feelings aren't valid, or that we're just scared for no reason.
The family will leave for Mexico within the next 12 weeks with about $200 to their name. They'll live on a farm with no plumbing and dirt floors. But they say that as long as they're together, they can deal with anything.
This was better for the greater good to save.
Yeah, so these kids must have come from a previous relationship because they don't have the same last name as the father.
Tomas.
And he's going by first name basis.
after everything we have to go through.
The family says Tomas attempted to change his immigration status several times, but couldn't afford the cost. News Channel 6 gave the Montalvo family the option to remain anonymous for their protection, but they declined, saying they want others in their situation to know they aren't alone.
Siempre hay esperanza. There is always hope.
In Aiken County, Kim Vickers, WJBF, News Channel 6.
I respect the way that they're doing this. He was here for 30 years, undocumented. He sees everything heating up. He bounces. With the opportunity to still come back. He has an American wife. He has American stepchildren. This is one of those cases where this is, I guess, the cleanest way that this could happen. Although this is, still sad. 30 years of being somewhere is nothing to scoff at. It's just that after 30 years of being somewhere, it kind of begs the question of what was the first priority in initiating the legal process of being able to stay so that you don't have to look over your shoulder. Can you guys imagine? I mean, let's just come to his level. 30 years of being somewhere and not knowing when they're going to kick you out. He was a kid when he came, 12 years old. He must have not really known what he was doing. But for the past 30 years, man, it's a long time to have not taken care of business, especially when you have a family. And now it displaces the entire family's life. I wonder what the father of these children think about her taking these kids to a whole different country over somebody that she married that isn't an actual citizen. None of my business, but you guys can see how when you break the law or someone you know and love breaks the law and you're connected to them, how it just invites chaos. That's why it's important to do things right. You got to do things right. I know it's not practical to some people, but it's practical to me because we all have choices and we all are going to be responsible for them. And there's consequences to these choices and these actions that we have. And in some cases, this is just one of them. I wish them the best, though. Yeah. And I hope that he gets to come back. So conservatives are saying that this is...
Yeah, me too. I wish them the best, to be honest, man. I think it's a sad situation, but right is right and wrong is wrong. I mean, that's what the problem with rules, that gray area in the government. Everybody want to... Well, they've been here for so long. He never bothered anybody. Well, if that's the case, push his paperwork through. What do he need to do to become a legal citizen? Let's start there. Do he need to leave the country while he do the paperwork to become a legal citizen? He married her. They got married. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you can marry somebody that's not legally in the country? God dang, man. What kind of dumb rules do we have? That shouldn't even be, you shouldn't even be able to do that. Oh my God,
and these actions that we have.
States,
and in some cases, this is just one of them. I wish them the best, though. And I hope that he gets to come back. So conservatives are saying that this is justice working. Under Trump's second term, immigration enforcement has ramped up hard, and self-deportation is now part of that strategy. Here's how it works. The federal government launched a $200 million campaign. Immigrants who leave voluntarily get free travel and a $1,000 voucher. Plus, there's no arrest, no trial. They just get to leave peacefully and they get the opportunity to come back. And the numbers are saying that this is working. Over 1 million undocumented immigrants have exited the United States this year alone. ICE deported about 71,000 of them. And the rest just left. So now the net migration is now negative. And that hasn't happened in decades. So conservatives are saying that this is long overdue. They're arguing that it's efficient, that it's cheaper than detention or court proceedings, that it's a deterrent, that it has an inherent deterrence factor, that it sends a message that we're serious about our borders. Others are saying that it's fair, that every country has the right to enforce its immigration law. You guys can see, even in the comments here, a lot of people are going to be saying, you can't do this in any other country. Why should you be allowed to do it here? And as a believer, a Christian, we see that there's precedence for this, that the government has, in its right to exist, it has the right to enforce the laws, that it should punish wrongdoing, that it should promote and uphold justice. No nation can survive with lawlessness at the border and chaos in the courts. People can't just do anything they want to do because they are in peril or they're fleeing from something. There's a process and a way to do things, and that's what conservatives are arguing. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with conservatives that paying people to leave is better than locking them up? Let me know in the comment section below, because not everybody agrees that this is justice. In fact, in our next segment, I'm going to be talking about all that the liberals have to say, and hint, it's the exact opposite.
But many migrants aren't waiting for immigration agents to detain them at work sites or in courtrooms. In tonight's In Depth, CBS's Adam Yamaguchi highlights the impact felt by families when a parent decides to self-deport.
As I stepped up raids across Los Angeles, Julie Ear and her family made a difficult drive south to the Tijuana airport. Her mother, Regina Higuera, had lived in the U.S. for 36 years. But 3 weeks ago, she left home, her children and her grandchildren, and headed back to her birthplace in Mexico.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Mom. Say bye.
When the ICE raids started picking up on other states, we knew that we were going to get hit eventually. Nobody's safe.
And why did she decide to self-deport?
She wanted to make sure that she was in control of her life. She didn't like the uncertainty of somebody coming into her house or her job or being pulled over and just telling her, oh, now you're in Mexico. People are being detained for weeks without knowing where they are.
Higuera had crossed.
I mean, I empathize with that. I do. I mean, I wouldn't want to be looking over my shoulder if I knew that I broke the law and that they were coming for me, or people like me, you know, with that status. I'd want to get my ducks in order, and I'd want to, you know, clear that up. And by doing that, you have an opportunity to come back the right way. I know it's hard. You have your entire family, your entire base is here. But I respect the people that are doing it this way. I think it's a lot cleaner this way, because if you're going to get caught inevitably, because they're going through Medicaid, they're going through IRS records, they're going to find these people. You might as well, it would behoove you even to just do it right this time. You might have got here wrong, you know, illegally against the law, federal law. But you still have an opportunity to make it right. And I think it says something about the character of these people. You know, yes, it took the stimulus of ICE doing these raids. That was the catalyst for all of it, rather. But I think it says something to their character of saying, you know what? Yeah, these ICE raids made me think about this more. And I knew that it was wrong when I did it. And I broke the law. And instead of being caught, I'm just going to get on up out of here. And that's what the administration requested. And hopefully they get honored, because, you know, these people, some of them are hard workers. Some of them, you know, they ain't did nothing else wrong but how they got here. I think they deserve a shot. And I think it speaks again to the character of the person that they're willing to do this. I just hope that they get honored for that.
Crossed into the U.S. illegally when she was only 15 and went straight to work in LA's garment factories. She'd intended just to stay for a while, earn enough money, and go back to Mexico. But then she met her husband and started a family.
She's been contributing to the economy, paying taxes every year. There's no benefit for being undocumented. They don't get benefits. She's not going to get a...
It's also not victimless, though, because how are you paying taxes legally without a social security number? So what we don't think about is the other side of this coin, which is a lot of the illegal immigrants are stealing people's social security numbers. And it's just causing issues. You know, in some cases, it might make your credit go up. But in other cases, you have people that are financing car loans and homes with the identity that's not even theirs.
Wow.
What about those people who have to deal with that impact? That's wrong. So, yeah, we can get hit with some of the sob stories, but we never hear about the sob stories of the people's lives that they're impacting by breaking the law. We have to have compassion for them as well.
The immigration crackdown, coupled with the national ad campaign urging undocumented people to self-deport, has prompted some people to do just that, self-deport. Let's bring in our investigative reporter, Hilda Gutierrez.
After living in the U.S. for more than 15 years, Victor says he would rather buy his own one-way ticket home than risk being arrested and put in a detention center or being deported to a prison in Central America. From dishwasher to kitchen manager, Victor says he's enjoyed every step of his journey.
So honestly, I love to work.
He was only 16 when he arrived in San Francisco in 2007 in search of opportunities. But after all these years, he's still undocumented. And now he says it's time to go back to Yucatan, Mexico on his own terms and not in handcuffs, as he's recently seen happen to others on the news.
The way that they're being detained, it's unfair because they're being treated like animals. We only come to this country to work. We don't come to look for problems.
For the last 5 years, Victor has worked alongside the Mecable brothers at their popular Masra restaurants. They started the business without much experience and credit Victor for the successful launch of their Redwood City location.
As cliche as this is, though, to the employees, and I mean, these people, like, even calling them employees feels off. They're literally my coworkers. Like, I see these people more than I see my family. And
how did he? So he hired him knowing that he was undocumented.
Yeah.
Is anybody aware of the consequences for doing that?
Yeah.
If at all, any? Especially under the current administration?
Hold up, man. I wonder how is this happening? Because it looked like he has a legitimate business. You know, there was times where people want to cut my grass and stuff, and they look like they here illegally, and I'm hesitant to even pay them.
Let me know in the comments.
They come in, put in countless hours, so much love into the food.
When they found out Victor was leaving, his bosses wanted to make sure he knew how much they appreciate him.
You know, Victor's been essential to the restaurant, to the development, really the menu, the staff, a lot of people he brought in. He's always been a leader.
According to the American Immigration Council, of the 13 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S., the vast majority don't have a pathway to legal status, meaning they can't wait their turn in line because there is no line.
That's not fair. There's no line because 13 million of them skipped it. There'd be a longer line if they had done it the legal way. But the way that they are structuring this and framing this is just so disingenuous to me. It's like they got here illegally, and then we close our eyes to that, and then we start trying to talk about fairness and all of that on the back end. Like, we have to address what happened first, right? Like, it's kind of, I'm going to go back. It's just.
See, people like him can talk better than me because he goes straight. He explains it in a way you can understand. I just tell you, you started off wrong. That's it. You came over here. You knew you were doing something you had no business doing. So take your tail back. I don't care if it's been 30 minutes or 30 years. It don't make a difference. Wrong is wrong. No gray area. No gray area. This is the rule. Obey it. And this what happens. That's it.
It's kind of confusing. Like, it's kind of disingenuous. Am I wrong?
No, you're not
the
wrong.
Development, really the menu,
How
the
he
staff,
get a job
a lot of people he brought
all
in.
these years?
He's always been a leader.
According to the American Immigration Council, I
think they should be in some trouble too. How in the world did he get a job to stay here that long? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, hey.
13 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S., the vast majority don't have a pathway to legal status, meaning they can't wait their turn in line.
Just the way they choose words, calling them undocumented and then saying they don't have a legal status, is just a word salad way of saying that they're illegal and that they don't have a way to legal status because they came here and they broke the law immediately. Maybe I'm just doing too much.
Because there is no line. A few years ago, Victor says he applied for a U visa, a humanitarian path to legal residency for victims of certain crimes, after he was robbed at knife point outside a bank in San Francisco. But years later, he's still waiting.
When I go on the bank get cash, there's some people is follow me for my car and he's put me the knife and he's take me everything, my phone, my money.
For Victor, this goodbye is bittersweet. He doesn't want to leave, but says he also has family waiting for him back home, including a son who he last saw as a baby.
So now I need to go back to Mexico because I have my family there. My mom is old, so I not see it for a long time. And then my son too, I not see it for a long time. So So all my family is there.
Jordan Mekable says the recent ICE arrests in the Bay Area have also shaken the rest of the team.
I was kind of messed with the employees' morals. You know, they're just like, they're not as happy, or they're afraid to go to that court date. You know, this block could be hit. If something like that ever did occur, I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of businesses will be going out.
For Victor, he says, it's time to put his life and family first.
Yeah, I think that's a big issue, because he's saying a lot of these businesses would go out of business because they hire a lot of undocumented people. If you're a legitimate business and you're legitimately issuing out payroll, how are you doing that legit with people who don't have social security numbers? So it's like,
now you seeing how the rich get richer and the poor get poor. Now you seeing how, man. There is no way in the world, young, that you're going to sit here and tell me that you can run a legitimate business by hiring people that's been in the country illegally. Shame on you, business owner.
They're also breaking the law because they're skirting around one of the highest expenses that business would have in the form of employee wages and benefits.
Plus, our young generation that's here, our American people, need to be having those jobs. And not just this one, but they don't want to cook. Some of them do want to cook. And maybe they would want to cook if the job was available. Instead of, oh my God, instead of selling on the corner. Y'all not seeing the whole circle. I'm picturing the whole circle. If every place that sell tennis shoes, clothes, or whatever you into, cars and all this stuff, would stop hiring these people under the table, or whatever you want to call it, then our people, when I say our people, I'm talking about American, black, white, green, red, or yellow, our United States citizens, the younger generation will have more of an opportunity to work.
They just don't technically have to report it. AKA, they can pay these people under the table. AKA, they can pay them far less than they would have to pay an American citizen. So when we talk about jobs being taken, that's what people mean. We talk about they're not actually paying their taxes. They may be paying a regressive form of taxes in the form of sales tax, maybe some toll roads, but they're not paying income taxes because they don't even have social security numbers. This is what people are saying. What do you guys think? Okay, so now it's time to talk about what the liberals are saying. They're saying that this is coercion in disguise. What's happening isn't exactly voluntary, but instead it's a type of psychological warfare. They're arguing that self-deportation isn't a choice when ICE raids are happening, asset seizures, and detention centers are breathing down people's necks. They're saying that people are giving up the legal rights that they have, like asylum hearings, family-based visas, or TPS, the temporary protected status, without fully understanding the consequences. And here's the kicker. The $1,000 isn't legally guaranteed. There's no law that's saying that you have to get paid. If your documents are incomplete, or if your flight gets delayed, you might not get anything. Liberals claim this is all about fear, not order. They're saying that people are fleeing to avoid trauma, not because they want to, that families are being separated. And many of these migrants have been here for years, raising US-born kids, paying taxes under fake names, and building up communities. So let me ask you guys this, before you jump down my throat, do you think that fear-based policy is effective, or is it unethical? I think I know what some of you guys are gonna say. And lastly, and this is really going to be interesting considering everything that's going on as it pertains to birthright citizenship. If someone has a child born in the U.S., should that give them a special consideration?
In a recent memo, the acting director of ICE told agents that immigrants who arrived in the U.S. illegally were no longer eligible for a bond hearing while they fight their deportations in court. In other words, those previously allowed to remain out on bond as their case made its way through the immigration system, a process that could take years, now must be taken into custody and remain there until they're deported. Tactics like these are leading some undocumented immigrants to self-deport and sometimes take the American citizens in their families with them. Here's CNN's Priscilla Alvarez with that story.
These are the main pictures from our house that we didn't want to just throw away. Sasha Mendoza has the impossible task of packing up her family's life in Pittsburgh into a handful of suitcases.
It's really hard to tell a 4-year-old that they can't bring their toys or their stuffed animal. There's just not enough room. We can't put a stuffed animal and then have no pants. I've literally never felt anxiety the way that I have in the last.
So she's a U.S. citizen.
2 years here.
So you are saying bye to the U.S. for good?
For good, yeah. Yeah, for good.
Fearful of President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown, Sasha, her husband Julio, and their 3 kids are leaving behind the life they built together.
What are you the most excited for in Mexico?
The pool.
The pool?
And the beach.
The beach?
Julio is an undocumented immigrant from Mexico. Sasha and their 3 children are all U.S. citizens. They decided to make the move together only moments after Trump took office.
There was an executive order being signed, and that was her call for. Said, like, what do you think about moving to Mexico? And I said, honestly, at this point, yeah, let's do it.
I mean, if it's a good idea now, then it was a good idea in the beginning, which would mean it was a bad idea to come in the first place, you know, to the extent that he wasn't a child. But I'm just a man, right? Like, I have a wife, almost 10 years. I have 2 children. I just couldn't imagine as a man building my life on such shaky ground. You know, like, I get why people do it, but I don't think that is very wise, because now your whole family is in this situation. And yeah, I don't know.
To Mexico.
We're gonna move to Mexico, not today.
And with that, the family began to wind down their lives, sifting through keepsakes and moving out of their home.
Say bye to the house.
Bye. Miss you.
When you were dating, did your status as being undocumented come up at all?
And then our first date, we kind of like were mentioning it without mentioning it. And at one point, he ordered a drink and he asked for extra ice. And I said, no, we don't do ice here. And he was like,
Ain't nothing funny now, though. Like, I don't know if that's a deal breaker necessarily, but it's like, that was your, I guess, prediction for the future. Like, that was you telling the future right there. That was always going to be an issue. Like,
that was like the only thing we needed to say.
So, by the way,
Julio crossed the U.S. southern border when he was 11 years old, and he's lived in Pittsburgh ever since.
One of his first concerns when we talked about moving is like, how am I going to watch the Steeler games?
You're a Pittsburgh native for all intents and purposes.
Oh my God, yeah.
What made Trump a second term more nerve-wracking for you, that to come to a decision that you had to leave the country?
There are no limits. There are no limits on being a target. The only main concern is like, he looks brown, he looks different, he don't speak English. He's the one.
That's not fair, and that's not true. There are no limits except for
definitely not true.
The status that you are. The only limit is the status, which is you're either legal or you aren't. You either came here and migrated legally or you didn't. There's no race, color, creed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, in his situation, you can empathize a little bit because he was a kid when he came. But the status at the end of the day is what matters. So whoever brought him here was being irresponsible, and they ruined his later years of life, thinking they gave him, you know, a step ahead. They ruined his later years of life. They destabilized it. And now he's having to pay the consequences of it. So now it's my turn. I want to talk about what both sides are missing, because there's a lot of confusion here and it's costing people a lot. So here's what's not being talked about. This program, whether you love it or you hate it, is built on shaky ground at best. There's no congressional approval for the payouts that they're giving. There's no long-term guarantee for those who are leaving. And some are facing 10-year reentry bans, even if they left peacefully. There's actually no clarity on what happens if they have a pending legal case, for example. Even immigration lawyers are warning people not to take the deal without legal counsel. So for you independent thinkers out there, as I try to be, ask yourself this: should someone be allowed to leave peacefully and return legally later? Or does illegal entry come with permanent consequences?
A woman in Hawthorne is speaking out after being wrongfully detained by ICE.
She was placed in handcuffs and taken into a processing site despite being a U.S. citizen and 9 months pregnant. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos is live in Hawthorne this morning with her story. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning to you both. Yeah, what started as a regular day for 23-year-old Carly Lopez Alvarado turned into a nightmare. She was here picking up her boyfriend and cousin who work as a maintenance crew at this building, but then ended up being detained by federal agents. And as the 9-month pregnant woman, her biggest fear wasn't for herself, but instead for her unborn baby.
Ma'am, move your hand away.
No.
Move your hand away. Listen.
Sir.
Ma'am, put cuffs on her. Put cuffs on her. Put cuffs on. Hold her hand.
I was kind of scared, so like my voice was very shaky in the video, but I tried to stay strong because
you wasn't too scared because you sure enough wasn't doing what they told you to do, or they the police. Move your hand, whatever. Have your ID on you. You know what's going on. Y'all know what time it is. Have your information, man. If I leave my house, I don't care who in office. This years for the last 20 years, and I forget my ID, I'm already nervous. I'm already thinking about what to tell the police if I get pulled over or anything. But I always, I ain't, they tell me to get out, I'm gonna get out. Yo, that's my bad. I'm the one who didn't have the ID on me. I forgot the ID, so I need to suffer the consequences. That's it. Rules are rules. Man,
ICE agents detaining Carly Lopez Alvarado Sunday, June 9th, a week before.
Whatever the situation is, it's going to be mistakes made. We all human. We're going to make mistakes. That's one out of all these people getting out of the country to make the country safer. Every now and then they're going to make one little mistake. Get over it, man. That's all I say. But I feel sorry for her.
I tried to stay strong because
she cute and everything. So
ICE agents detaining Carly Lopez Alvarado Sunday, June 9th, a week before her due date during a Hawthorne raid. After she says she was protecting the truck her boyfriend was inside of, standing between ICE agents and the.
They took all that time to get to that. That's the biggest point. Protecting the truck that had her boyfriend inside of it. Protecting him from who? The government? The ICE agents?
I'm done.
You can't do that. What?
Who are you to protect somebody?
Oh my goodness.
The car door. Federal agents telling her she was interfering with her boyfriend's apprehension. And in a matter of minutes, they were arresting her boyfriend, her cousin, and her.
Yes, so that's why she got arrested.
That's some bullshit.
What? You can't just
excuse me.
Jump in.
You started off. Hold up, man. Wait a minute. Where we at? 3226. Okay, I'm gonna go back to what this is bull, man. This is bull. What are you reporting? A lie. You reporting a straight up lie, man. Watch this.
Or does illegal entry come with permanent consequences?
Come on, y'all.
A woman in Hawthorne is speaking out after being wrongfully detained by ICE.
She was placed in handcuffs and taken into a processing site despite being a U.S. citizen.
She was not wrongfully detained. What? Let's hear it one more time.
Consequences.
A woman in Hawthorne is speaking out after being wrongfully detained by ICE.
She was not wrongfully detained by ICE. That's a lie. You see what the problem is? That is a lie. She was not wrongfully detained.
She was placed in handcuffs and taken into a processing site despite being a U.S. citizen. And
they would have took your tail too, girl, if you would have stood in the way of them trying to do their job. How dare you? This Channel 5? How dare you? You're saying that even though she's a United States citizen, they still took her in. Had me thinking, wait a minute, they supposed to be taking people out that's illegally. And she's legally here. How she get mixed up in this mess? Well, we about to find out how she got mixed up. Let's keep going.
9 months pregnant. KTLA's
what does that got to do with anything? She pregnant. That's like Cassie being on stand. They kept saying, oh, she's pregnant. What does that got to do with was she going to tell the truth or lie and promise to tell her? Oh, my God.
Rose Ramos is live in Hawthorne this morning with her story. Good morning.
Now watch her.
Hey guys, good morning to you both. Yeah, what started as a regular day for 23-year-old Carly Lopez Alvarado turned into a nightmare. She was here picking up her boyfriend and cousin who work as a maintenance crew at this building, but then ended up being detained by federal agents. And as a 9-month pregnant woman, her biggest fear wasn't for herself, but instead for her unborn baby.
You see how they done changed this damn story up, man? They done changed. Oh my God, dog. That story is straight up changed. Because I was feeling sorry for her. I was really feeling sorry for her. Come find out, she over here playing. Oh my.
Move your hand away?
No.
Move your hand away. Listen.
Sir.
Ma'am, put cuffs on her. Put cuffs on her.
Look at this.
Hold your hand.
I was kind of scared.
Resistant.
So like my voice was very shaky in the video, but I like tried to stay strong because
ICE agents detaining Carly Lopez Alvarado Sunday, June 9th, a week before her due date during a Hawthorne raid. After she says she was protecting the truck her boyfriend was inside of, standing between ICE agents.
They took all that time to get to that. That's the biggest point. Protecting the truck that had her boyfriend inside of it.
She should have been protecting her baby. I would have been like, I'm pregnant too. Well, I'm not gonna be pregnant. But my point is, dude, come on, man. Think about it. You're pregnant. ICE is here. You know why ICE is here, because he's here illegally. Hello. I'm pregnant and I'm still gonna protect the truck. Fuck out of here, man. Golly. Get out of here, man. Are y'all serious?
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Protecting him from who? The government? The ICE agents? You can't do that. What? Oh my goodness.
The car door. Federal agents telling her she was interfering with her boyfriend's apprehension. And in a matter of minutes, they were arresting her boyfriend, her cousin, and her.
Yes, that's why she got arrested. What? You can't just jump in and get in the way. They're going to move you, especially when you're pregnant. Why are you doing that? You say you care about the baby. That's a pretty dangerous position to have a baby in, you know, between you and a federal agent.
When you know you're going to lose, they got guns and all kinds of stuff. You ain't got nothing but a baby.
They had my boyfriend on the ground already, and they had tackled my cousin down. And that's when I was inside the car, and I was kind of just banging on the door because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you guys treating us like that? They didn't do anything wrong.
The Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary telling KTLA, quote, Carly Lopez was arrested because she obstructed federal law enforcement by blocking access to a car that had 2 Guatemalan illegal aliens in it. During this incident, agents were assaulted and an additional subject was taken into custody after he pushed an officer. Federal agents taking Carly to a processing facility in San Pedro. The agents, she says, telling her she was going to have her baby while in detention, assuming she was undocumented, asking her if she was from Mexico.
But you're from Mexico, right? And I'm like, no, I'm from here. And like, I was born here. Here, where's here? Where are you talking about? Where exactly is here? I'm like, here, the U.S., Los Angeles.
Well, they're asking you that because it's 3 of you guys, right? You're picking up your boyfriend and his cousin or your cousin from work. Both of them are illegal immigrants from Guatemala. Why wouldn't they assume that you are too?
They put us in chains. So I had a chain from my hand and under my belly that went all the way to my legs. Every now and then, like, fix my hands because I felt like I would be putting too much pressure because the chain went under my belly.
Agents eventually releasing Carrie after she said she started feeling pain around her belly. She raced to the hospital where she started having contractions, she believes, from the stress of what happened. 4 days later, she delivered a healthy baby girl. Her boyfriend, the baby's father, is Brian Alexander Barrera, undocumented from Guatemala. Carrie says he is now being held at a detention facility in Texas.
They really tried hard to make this story, to turn this story against the ICE agents. I see what they did there, but she was wrong in this situation, especially being as far along in her pregnancy as she was. Thankfully, she delivered the baby and it was healthy. Unfortunately, her boyfriend, I believe, got deported back to Guatemala. Guatemala is beautiful, by the way. I was there 2 months ago. Spent some time there. The people, beautiful. Country, beautiful. There's a lot of struggles, but a lot of countries have a lot of struggles.
He didn't have any criminal records or anything. Knowing that they took him when he was working, it kind of hurt, because I was like, he didn't do anything wrong. He was just working and taking care of.
He didn't do anything wrong? Think of that word. He didn't do anything wrong? Anything. Okay. All right.
His family. Why are you treating other people the way that you treat a criminal when they're not criminals? They're human beings. The color doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. At the end, we're all human.
DHS telling us that their agents were assaulted by rioters with wrenches and batteries, saying that assaults have risen by over 400% against their ICE federal agents. Now, as far as Carrie goes, her attorney's telling us she hasn't been faced with federal charges quite yet. They're still waiting to hear back from authorities. Until then, she is home with her newborn baby.
So here's the bottom line. Self-deportations are rising and ICE is active again. America is finally enforcing its immigration laws, but that's not coming without controversy. It's also not coming without confusion. Conservatives say that it's smart, that it's efficient, and that it's moral, while liberals are saying, and they're arguing, that it's unjust, coercive, and even short-sighted. But the real question is this: what kind of country are we trying to build? One that's strong but fair, or one that's compassionate but consistent? This is what we have to chew on as American citizens. And I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope that it caused you guys to think about this maybe from a different perspective, maybe chew on some things on the other side of the aisle that you haven't thought about yet. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Pray that the Lord blesses you, that he keeps you, that he lifts his countenance towards you, that he turns his face towards you, that he gives you favor, and that he gives you peace.
Hey, I like this guy, man. I really like him, man, because it was almost like I break down and go berserk on in a crazy way, and then he sit back and give it to y'all like he running for office, like a person on the panel. Me, I'm coming from the streets, man. F that, girl. If you was carrying my baby and you over there trying to stop a police officer from doing their job, it could be a security guard. You need to get your butt out the way. I'm pregnant, let me get and you gonna sit there and let them wrestle you to the ground, and I'm pregnant over somebody who's here illegally. I don't understand. Hey, here's the thing that tripped me out, man. Then I'm gonna leave it alone. If you I will not fight somebody that has a gun, that has a partner, that has been through training, they got on a bulletproof vest, they're there to if they right or wrong, I don't care. I ain't got nothing to do with this, bruh. I'm not standing in your way. Sir, my son, daughter, wife, honey, we gonna fight this out in court. Don't fight him. What you gonna do? You think you're gonna fight him and win and not go? That's what you think is gonna happen? They got guns. You seriously think that you gonna have court right then and there and say, nah, y'all don't go. And then you start giving up like, oh my gracious, I hope somebody getting this on camera. Cause I know it's all
a bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.